You've been training your calves for years, but they still look like they belong to someone who skips leg day. Same machine, same weight, same 3 sets, same 15 reps, and almost no visible change. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your calf raises probably aren't failing. Your execution is. Because if every rep looks like this, you're not really training your calves. You're bouncing. Most people drop the heel, explode upward, and immediately fall back down. The weight moves. The machine moves. The ego feels good, but the calf barely gets the stimulus you're looking for. And there's an even bigger problem hiding underneath that. You're probably training the easiest part of the movement and rushing through the part that could make the biggest difference. Think about the last time you did calf raises. Did you actually control the bottom? Did your heel travel through a full range of motion? Or did you hit the bottom and immediately bounce back up? That tiny difference can completely change the exercise. Experienced coaches understand this. Muscles don't grow because you completed a movement. They grow because you gave the muscle a reason to adapt. And for calves, that means learning to own the stretch instead of escaping it. Your calves spend all day working, walking, standing, climbing stairs, running, even just keeping you balanced. They're already incredibly good at handling repeated effort. So walking into the gym and giving them 3 rushed sets at the end of leg day isn't exactly a wake-up call. It's barely an interruption. But here's where things get interesting. The calf isn't just one muscle. You've got the gastrocnemius sitting on top, and the soleus underneath it. And they don't respond identically to the same position. When your knee is straight, the gastrocnemius can contribute heavily. When your knee is bent, the soleus becomes much more important. So if all you've ever done is standing calf raises, you're leaving part of the equation undertrained. It's like building a house and only finishing one side. Then wondering why the whole thing doesn't look complete. And this is where a lot of people blame genetics. Some guys just have good calves. Sure, genetics influence muscle shape, tendon length, and your ultimate potential. But that's not the excuse you should reach for after months of sloppy reps. Because before you worry about your genetic ceiling, you need to make sure you've even approached your training ceiling. There's another problem almost nobody notices. Your stronger leg may be doing more work than your weaker leg. When both legs move together, your dominant side can quietly compensate. You finish the set thinking both calves worked equally. They didn't necessarily. That's why occasional single leg work can expose weaknesses you've been hiding for years. And then there's the weight stack. This one destroys more calf workouts than almost anything else. You add weight, you feel stronger. But your range of motion gets smaller. Your heels barely move. Your body starts bouncing. And suddenly you're moving a lot of weight while giving your calves less useful tension. If you have to choose between heavy half reps and lighter full range reps, choose the reps you can actually control. Strength isn't making the stack look impressive. Strength is controlling the muscle through the position that challenges it. So here's how you fix your calf training. First, kill the bounce. Start from a controlled bottom position. Let the heel drop naturally into a comfortable stretch. Pause briefly. Then drive through the ball of your foot and rise as high as you can without turning the rep into a full body movement. At the top, squeeze. Don't just touch the top and immediately drop. Own it. Then control the way down. Try taking roughly 3 seconds on the lowering phase. That alone will make your normal weight feel completely different. Second, stop relying only on standing raises. Add seated calf raises with your knees bent. Now, you're giving the soleus a reason to work instead of asking the gastrocnemius to do everything. Third, increase your exposure. Instead of destroying your calves once a week, consider training them 2 or even 3 times weekly if recovery allows. You don't need marathon sessions. You need quality work performed consistently. And fourth, occasionally train one leg at a time. Not because single leg raises are magical, because they make it harder for your stronger side to hide your weaker side. Now imagine doing this for 12 weeks. No bouncing, no ego lifting, full range. Controlled negatives, straight knee work, bent knee work. Consistent frequency. The first few weeks might feel almost boring. That's the point. You're finally giving the muscle a signal it can't ignore. I know someone who trained calves for months and thought nothing worked. The problem wasn't effort. He was working hard. The problem was that every set looked exactly the same. Fast reps, heavy weight, tiny range. Once he slowed everything down and started treating every repetition like it mattered, the exercise finally became difficult in a completely different way. That's what you're looking for. Not exhaustion, not a bigger number on the machine. Better tension, better control, better progression. And don't judge your calves after 3 weeks. Muscle doesn't transform on your preferred schedule. Give the new approach 8 to 12 honest weeks before deciding whether it works. Take progress photos. Track your reps. Track your load. Pay attention to your range of motion. Because if your numbers improve while your technique gets worse, you're not progressing. You're just getting better at cheating. Your calves don't need another fancy exercise. They need better execution. Kill the bounce. Chase the stretch. Train both muscles. Control every rep. Give it enough time. And stop confusing effort with effective training. The goal isn't to survive another calf workout. The goal is to build calves your old training never gave you. So next leg day, forget the ego. Lower the weight. Slow the rep down. Feel every inch. And make your calves earn the growth. Because sometimes the breakthrough isn't waiting inside a new exercise. It's hiding inside the rep you've been doing wrong for years. Fix the rep. Then build the muscle. That's how you stop training harder and finally start training smarter.